What's up guys, Robert Optal Carnivore. Now I got this nice YouTube message requesting a video on this. So thanks for that request, mate. Yes, of course I can. This is the carnivore diet on a budget. Fantastic question. And the short answer is, yes, it's easy. Mince and eggs or ground beef and eggs. But we want more, let's dig into it. Before I even go into specific food and meal ideas, you've got to understand that when you eat the optimal human diet, you are not on a blood sugar roller coaster all day. You can listen to your hunger and satiety signals. Insulin isn't raised. It doesn't block leptin, which is the main satiety hormone. So you naturally eat less. I have lost count of the amount of clients that have said, I've had my dinner or lunch. So a lot of people fast through breakfast. That's just the natural hormonal rhythm that gets going, which is another video. I've eaten my first meal, say it might be 12, 1 p.m. and then it's getting 6, 7 at night and they're absolutely satiated and stuffed still. And then they say, should I be eating this next meal? I'm actually very full. Am I eating enough? I absolutely love when this happens. It's sometimes a bit of a double-edged sword because we're so ingrained in society that you have to be struggling with a diet and it has to feel like you're white-knuckling it and you have to be hungry. People have tried every diet under the sun. Like most people come to me, they've tried a lot of stuff before and they've never experienced the hunger and satiety and actually being nourished by the bioavailable animal products that they're eating. So I say it's like a double-edged sword because it's like, oh, brilliant, you're not hungry. What a diet if you're not hungry on it. But also then they're worried, they're thinking, well, shouldn't I be hungry? Surely I should be suffering on this. Am I eating enough? So luckily, me as their coach, I can reassure them all the physiology. You can listen to your body like any other mammal in the wild. We eat when we're hungry and we can stop eating when we're actually full. We've got every nutrient on board. That's why you might not want your evening meal. And guess what? You're automatically spending less. You've had one meal rather than two. So many clients fall into this pattern. Like there's no right or wrong answer. We're going to listen to our hunger and satiety. But yeah, 90+%, they end up maybe having 1 or 2 meals a day. Not this generic 3 meals a day. And it's not even that. Look, people might have 3 big meals. They are constantly snacking in between there. If you wrote down a little food diary, try it. Write a food diary for the week. Don't change any habits. Just write down what every time you eat, every time you put some sugar in a brew, do you know, every time you're putting some sort of macronutrient in your body, that counts. Everyone is snacking and that adds up and that's what can be hurting your wallet. You will spend a lot less money on this diet. Be honest, what do you spend on takeaways, taxis, vapes, alcohol, eating out, entrance to clubs, clothes, expensive cars, turkey teeth, hair transplants, coffees, Rolexes, new trainers? It all adds up. Large majority of things on that list can completely disappear if you adopt the optimal human diet. They will not be a monthly outgoing anymore. When you're eating this way, the volume of food that you're consuming becomes a lot less and less. The neurons and cells in your gut are constantly looking for essential amino acids, essential fatty acids, your vitamins and minerals, etc. and nothing else. When you provide your body with everything it needs, you eat a much smaller amount and you get full off a much smaller amount. Look at when you open like a family-sized bag of Doritos. Do you know, you will smash that full bag just because it's the full bag. You're getting zero satiety from it. You're eating, you're literally just filling up your stomach and then you might feel sick. So you've filled out your stomach capacity, but also you're starving. So we're like the only species on Earth that eat for pleasure and not nutrition, and also that are malnourished and obese at the same time. That is mind-blowing. Like with the family-sized bag of Doritos, that is an unnatural dopamine signal to your brain saying more, 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 more. You get this positive feedback loop, which is bad. It's telling you to carry on. Whereas you make a nice ribeye steak, you start eating it, every bite will slowly get a little bit blander and that steak just doesn't taste good anymore. Guess what? You stop eating and guess what? Our body is smarter than us. We can't outdo our physiology. Your body's just said, brilliant, you've chucked a steak in your stomach. We've got everything we need. Don't eat for 24 hours for some people. As I said at the start, it doesn't have to be a ribeye steak every night. I do not eat that way. I see that as a treat on a weekend. Ground beef, and luckily, this is a high-fat diet. We need to get our energy from somewhere. You can't just eat protein, which is rabbit starvation, which is another video. You have to get energy. Because we're on a low, zero carbohydrate diet, the energy comes from fat. Fat is good, another story. But the higher percent fat mince is cheaper. So this might be 5%, 12%, 15, 20, 25. 25% mince is cheaper. So it falls nicely into our hands. That is optimal. Easy, you can make burgers out of it. You can have it warm, you can have it cold, you can mix it up. Do you know, go to like a local farmer that's selling proper decent free range eggs. They're very cheap. mince and eggs is your starting point. Use sort of like tomahawks and these fancy cuts of meat. If you can afford them, great. If you love them, yeah, every day I'd love to be able to do that. Then have them as your treat, as we're used to wanting to reward ourselves. That's rewarding yourself without any negative side effects. You know, you're putting pure nutrition in your body. Absolutely amazing. And then if you want some more variety, there's so many different types of fish. Bacon's cheap, dairy's not that bad if you can tolerate it. I never get people having a lot of it anyway. So, yep, carnivore diet on a budget. You can do it. You're going to be spending a lot less, and the main message is that you're just going to be eating a lot less food. You'll be very surprised, and then, like I said, if you did write it down, you'd be like, oh my God, like we're just wasting food. Not to mention like any sort of vegetables that we physically aren't designed to be able to absorb them and digest them. It's indigestible plant matter. So it's usually made up of like this plant cell wall made up of cellulose. We lack the enzyme cellulase to even break that down. So you literally might as well just buy it, go up to the toilet and throw it in your toilet. So thanks again for that message, Jack. Thanks for that request. Great video idea. Actually had somebody else message me this morning and say like, oh, I wanted to start with you, but I'm worried about having to spend a lot of money on meat. No, it doesn't have to be expensive. It's what you make of it. You will find what you naturally get drawn towards food-wise, and you get really inventive with what to make. There's so many ways to make eggs. You know, you can mix it up the best you can. The main message is you're going to be eating a lot less. You're going to be spending a lot less money on other things. It's more your complete lifestyle. And then when you start to get rid of all that noise, it's almost like it comes to like a Saturday, and I don't mind going to the butcher's and treating myself to a really good, say like a tomahawk steak or a ribeye steak. You just get that feeling like, right, I'm putting pure nutrition on my body. Like you're just paying towards your health. Whereas people are looking for the cheapest thing ever, and they're prioritizing like materialistic things. That's the mindset that you need to get out of, and you will be healthy, happy, lean, vibrant, libido through the roof. Get the body you want. If you need help with this, you know where I am. Cheers, guys.